Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, there is no turning back now. Well, after yesterday's exhilarating review, there is really no time to rest as here comes another one. Allow me to give you, my dear ladies and gentlemen, the Dino Dream 1/5 scale Velociraptor faux bronze maquette. This is yet another piece that has been created based on the Stan Winston Studio maquette that they made for the film The Lost World Jurassic Park. This is it. This is the grail I've been waiting for so many years. The raptors were always my favorites in the original films, well, before they made them lovely little puppy dogs in the new films. And apart from some other icons like the Predator, Terminator, etc., the raptors were my absolute favorites that Stan Winston Studio has created. I'm quite speechless right now and totally blown away by the majesty and the size of this piece. And I just wish that I had a time machine so I could go back and tell my 10-year-old self that, don't you worry, kid, it's coming. Now, as far as I know, and please correct me in the comments if you have other information, this specific maquette, just like the T-Rex from the previous review, was created for The Lost World Jurassic Park, as I don't see any of these poses or maquettes in any of the books or behind-the-scenes material before the second film appeared. And they also always feature the tiger stripes that were the look of the male raptors from the second film. I also think, and once again might be wrong, that this maquette was sculpted by one of the lifers in Stan Winston Studio, John Rosengrant. Once again, if anyone knows better, please correct me in the comments. I've done my research, been doing it for several decades, in fact, and I think this was sculpted by John himself. And now we move closer to take a look at the metal plate that came with the first 100 orders for both this one and the T-Rex as an exclusive edition. It's, as I said during the review of the T-Rex, it's very heavy, it's metal, and it has this beautiful like velvet or felt at the bottom to not scratch anything. So just the first 100 orders received this with their statues, and now I'm going to use the Velociraptor side as we are taking a look at the Velociraptor. And while we are looking at the base, which is pretty much the same as to the T-Rex, I would like to take the opportunity to make a disclaimer regarding to the T-Rex review I posted yesterday. In that review I mentioned that I have a good friend living in San Francisco who owns both of the original bronze maquettes that came out of Stan Winston Studio. Well, he told me yesterday that Dino Dream in fact asked for his help in order to create these pieces regarding measurements and photos that covered every single millimeter of the maquettes in question, in order to be able to create these pieces as authentic as possible. I'm sure John won't mind if me sharing one of his photos here, featuring two of his original bronze statues and the Dino Dream 1/35 scale little Velociraptor attack maquettes. So there are the answers regarding my questions about the pieces yesterday. And as we began to look at those killer details on the feet and try to get the camera to see the belly and further details along the neck, I also would like to add that this was what I was desperately hoping that Chronicle Collectibles will one day release before they went under. I remember Paul promised it many times in the past. The raptors are coming, but never delivered. And when the company went under, I was crushed as my hope went away that we ever going to see the likes of these maquettes ever to be released. But Fortunately, then companies like Elite Creature Collectibles and Dino Dream came to the rescue. And while the camera shows us that absolutely no detail has been spared on this beast, let's have a few words about the Elite Creature Collectibles Raptor Maquette release. As I mentioned before in other reviews, I love Elite Creature Collectibles and the work they do. It's incredibly inspiring, and also Steve is a very good friend. Nonetheless, the Raptor they have produced might be superior in size and quality, is unfortunately also way out of my price range. It's not only a giant piece and will eat a lot of real estate that I don't have, but is also very expensive. There are two versions available, one with an acrylic display case and the other without an acrylic display case, and the latter goes for like £1,700. As you know, guys, and I mentioned in other reviews as well, I have an unwritten rule regarding collectibles, and that rule is to never cross the £1,500 line when it comes to one single collectible. Especially these days, we have to practice a little bit of responsible thinking and stay in touch with reality. Once again, I absolutely love it, and I have nothing against it, and if I had the money I would jump immediately, but right now these two pieces with the Rexy are completely fulfilling my GP Stan Winston Studio Maquette's craving. I am completely blown away by the quality and the weight of this piece. The details are super sharp, and the piece itself is heavy as hell. I always love those skin folds around the belly, and one might pick up on the paint job on this one, that is a little bit more saturated than on the Rexy. We actually can see stripes here and everything. Now, as far as I know and what I've seen pictures of the bronze maquettes, they are indeed different, as the Raptor has quite a bit more saturated paint job on it. But once again, I've never seen them in real life, so this is just a theory and what I've seen on featured photos. Then let's talk about size of this bad girl, or boy, if it's from the Lost World Jurassic Park. Its in length is around 32 inches. It's around 16 inches tall and around 8.5 inches wide. So with that whipping tail in the end of the creature, she has quite a bit of a presence that will look just absolutely beautiful on the shelf, believe me. And as I shine some light in the mouth, you can see the details aren't as carefully done as with the Rex, but it's because of the raptor's mouth is just ajar, and it's kind of way harder to see inside. The roof of the mouth, the tongue and the teeth are still beautifully done, and with just like the Rexy, they are separate pieces and most probably were separately molded and then glued in later. Just check out those beautiful details on the head as well, and the eye, which has the slit pupil. Look at that shadow on the wall, very atmospheric. And then once again we're moving back under some details. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Maybe I just want to switch off the torch. Flashy yet again. Look at the forms. Absolutely blown away. And there they are, my dear ladies and gentlemen, the money shot. Wow. I just really wanted to give you guys the full look of both of them together, to see and compare sizes, and also appreciate the beauty as they stand together. You know, I always hope that one day Dino Dream will go bigger, because apart from a few other companies such as Nonmu, Elite Creature Collectibles or W Dragon, I think they probably, apart from these other companies, produce the most authentic GP products. But they always go for a much smaller scale, like 135 with their raptors, attacking raptors. And while it's great for price and real estate, one was always wishing if they were bigger, so you get the full effect on the pose and the details. So yeah, here they are. 300 pieces produced worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, by Dino Dream. Licensed. Grail written all over them, in my opinion. I wouldn't think too long on these. While there is definitely a bigger marketplace out there for Jurassic Park fans these days, people who like and admire the artistry behind the films, the prop and maquette collectors, they can rarely find what they love. It's just way more of a niche market. And here we have another shot of the raptors. The small one is the Dino Dream 135 scale Rotunda Attack Raptor. I absolutely adore this pose. Gorgeous lines, beautiful artistic interpretation of the character. And if you own this piece, then you get the idea about sizes here. Also wanna say once again a giant shout out to Lonotime Shop for honestly packing these pieces, both the Rexy and the Raptor, in a way that even if a bomb would go off, these statues and the boxes would be intact, because they were very tightly wrapped, beautifully packaged. They really care. And also I would like to mention my good friend John from San Francisco, who, as I mentioned previously, helped Dino Dream to produce these pieces as authentic as possible. Thank you so much, buddy, for giving us the opportunity to own these pieces as well and enjoy them in our homes and inspire us. And before the end of the video, I just would like to say that since I was a small child and I first learned about the work of Stan Winston Studio, and I realized that basically this guy and his team were responsible for most of my favorite movie creatures. This was around the time when Jurassic Park came out, and I've seen this double-page article in Cinema magazine in Hungary about the man and his work. These things inspired me endlessly and keep inspiring me. There will be definitely more reviews coming. I recently just scored this Stan Winston Studio Stegosaurus maquette, which is completely repainted by my good friends at Father Phantom Studio. I will tell you the entire story, guys. It's amazing. I got it for free. I still can't believe it. So that will be coming soon. Just bear with me. I'm really busy with work right now, preparing for Monster Palooza, but soon they are coming. Thank you so very much for being here with me, and as always, I see you on the next one.